I got water.
You get some water?
Get some right now.
No. I already
You're
started.
going to be complaining about it the whole time.
Water.
I'll be fine.
Oh, my God.
What are you doing?
Being himself.
No, I wasn't like giving you attitude about.
I'm just.
Oh my God!
I'm still going down a list of games, so.
You're overthinking it.
No, I just want to go. I hadn't had anything from Nintendo, so just go through old Nintendo games I had.
Hello and welcome to a very hastily. Jesus Christ!
God,
I have a beer.
you sound horrible.
Just a second.
Fix yourself.
Adjust my balls. All right. Hello and welcome to a very hastily put together impromptu last minute. We were eating hamburgers and decided to have a podcast episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
Yes.
and guests Brian Pacifume.
Hello.
And Katrina Swathwood.
Hello.
We don't have a ton of stuff to talk about. Brian and Corey want to talk about a bunch of nonsense. But
Malarkey.
As always.
Malarkey. And you don't see me do this, but they start talking amongst the two of them, and I just sit back and close my eyes.
Take a nap.
Take a nap, wake up, say something,
You
go back to
close
sleep.
all your holes?
I plug all my holes. Wait, what? But the big news this week. Dun dun dun.
Oh.
No, we all just watched the Game of Thrones Season 7 premiere trailer again. I watched it once. Corey has watched it probably like 15, 20 times.
Two.
2 times. This was third time?
No, that's second.
That's second time? Me too.
Yeah.
And so that starts in
2 months.
less than 2 months now.
By a couple days.
It starts the
16th of
16th.
June.
By
July.
9 days.
16th of July, yeah, so.
Whatever, motherfucker.
That's still 9 days less than 2 months.
Okay, calm down.
True.
Yeah. So, my first impressions of the trailer, not enough Jon Snow. I need a full Season 7 trailer of
just
Jon
him?
Snow.
Luckily, nowadays, so many characters have been killed off, it's just going to be split between... Instead of it being like 50 characters, now it's dwindling down to...
What, 30?
Even so, like, half of them together, like Littlefinger, Sansa, and Jon Snow, that's going to be a storyline, you know. So the North, the South, you know, whatever.
Well, who do you think the 3 biggest characters are at this point? Jon
Jon
Snow.
Snow, Lannisters,
Daenerys.
I say big teams. Let's just say Jon Snow's team, Cersei Lannister's team, and Daenerys' team. But Tyrion isn't there, so
Okay.
you know.
Are there more Starks left than Lannisters left at this point?
And we're just going off what show is because you know.
Obviously,
going
we're not
through
bringing up a
heavy
lot.
lineage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So Jon, Sansa, Arya.
Arya?
And Bran.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about Bran because he's not going to be on this season, is he?
No, probably
Is he
not.
Is he not on this season again? They didn't say that.
Oh, who's not going to be on? Oh, it was
He'll be last episode. Pop
actually.
in.
Who was it? Sorry, it was the fat kid, right?
Yeah, the guy that made it to the library.
Yeah. Okay.
Jon Snow's best friend.
Sam.
Oh,
Sam.
damn it,
Sam.
Sam, yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be on this season.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And they would have already said it if Bran wasn't going to be on it.
You're
So
right.
he's going to be in this
I
season.
know. I thought. Okay, so 4 stars.
I liked Sam. I mean, his stuff was a little boring sometimes, but he was a very good support character in support of
In
Jon
the show,
Snow.
yes.
I don't want to get into it.
Now we're getting into that part of the book said this. We're not talking about the fucking book.
4 stars, 3 Lannisters. But
Well, technically 3 Starks, because Snow's still a Snow.
whatever you want to say. But if you look at it, if we even count that, only 1 Lannister has been killed. Really? I mean, what are the
Because
Lannisters?
they're Baratheons.
Yeah, or whatever. So
Tywin.
Tywin, that's what I was considering. If you consider all the bastard kids, a couple more have died off. But I think the Stark to Lannister death ratio is probably higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more brutal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Joffrey, if you count him, died sucky.
Oh, that was
I mean,
great.
it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's funny because Ramsay Bolton was just as despicable in every single way.
Oh, but he was so good.
But he did it all hands-on. He did it all like...
Himself.
Yeah, he was just a badass, bad character, whereas Joffrey was just like, every time he did anything, you're like, come on.
Yeah. He was wimpy, sadistical.
Well, he sent his
and,
little dog in to do his
stupid.
work.
During Comic-Con, some of us, me not so unfortunately, are going to be doing a Game of Thrones pub crawl, and not that anybody that listens to the show will be there because there's like 3 people, but we will be House Bolton.
Yeah, it shows everybody our mindset. You get to pick from what house you want to drink for.
No, I had to convince them to open House Bolton.
So I was going to say, and we came up with, let's just do House Bolton.
What's funny is Corey and I both picked Bolton without even talking to each other about it.
Because I think Stark's cool, but you don't want to be with everybody else that's just going to pick Stark. You want to pick something unique.
Exactly.
And they pick teams, too.
And I'm thinking Sigil. Who's got a cooler Sigil than the Flayed Man?
I don't think there's anybody else in our house.
No, there won't be anybody.
That's okay.
Yeah. Our house has died off in the show, so.
Yeah. But, dragons are bigger, looks like, and all 3 of them are flying around.
Yeah. Whether they're in her control or not, we shall see. I'd be glad if she takes Dragonstone first episode, because that's her ancestral seat. That's where her ancestors launched the invasion of Westeros, kinda. And I think that would be kind of cool, because that's where she was born, before she fled across the Narrow Sea with her brother. So, it'd be kind of cool for that.
I think they're under her control, because it didn't show one of the dragons flying right above the Dothraki army.
Well, you gotta figure she's gone, and she's only with, what, Dragon? Whatever his name is? The other 2 with Tyrion.
Right, well, I mean,
when did that happen? At the end of last season? Something?
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
She flew off? No?
And she flew away from the Colosseum.
No, this was the last episode. They were all on boat, and the dragons were flying above, and they were sailing on the Greyjoy fleet.
That's true.
Back to Westeros.
See, that's how far I'm.
Okay, so you remember the slavers tried to make her surrender, and then her dragons came out, and she said, "What's the word for burn?"
And then she burned
Dracarys.
Yeah,
and then the fleet burned. So we both learned, because I forgot she actually kind of had them under control then at that point. So.
Well, from the trailer, it looks like they're flying they're flying right above the Dothraki, which means
they're all together.
Do you see the Dothraki jump off the saddle to stab somebody?
Yeah,
they're gonna be badass.
So Brian, I wanted you to weigh in, but in the book, Dothraki are talked about as being the most skilled horsemen ever.
It's like It's like Rohan.
Basically, they're like horseback. They can shoot horseback archery or do whatever. Mm-hmm. They're really, and in the show, you didn't get to see any Dothraki fight except Drogo, I think. And it was just, one-on-one. So the fact that they actually show him, in mounted combat, against Westeros troops, I'm, super excited. In the first book, I remember it was King Robert and Ned Stark talking about it, if an actual Dothraki army came over, that they would be screwed, kind of. And he's like, they will never take a boat. They hate the ocean.
They're taking a boat.
Yeah.
Poison Sea.
Yeah, and they're actually over, so it's like, oh, that's so sick. I just want to see it for the battle.
So it'll be 2/3 through the season we get to see that.
Well, 2/3 is only...
Yeah, it's only 7 episodes.
So.
Oh, it's horrible.
How long is it normally? 9 or 10?
10.
What's the last season?
6.
That's next year.
So there's only 13 episodes left. But I don't think they'll ever go a year with... Maybe after the last season, you'll have 1 year of no Game of Thrones. But I think that it's such a big cash cow that it's constantly going to have new content with spin-off series.
You've heard the 4 spin-offs they talked about.
I didn't know what they are. I just heard that there's going to be 4.
I don't want to read into it too much, but I read that people are pissed off because George R. R. Martin wants to be involved in all of them, and he's already taking I don't know how long.
He needs to get to writing if he wants to be involved with them.
Yeah.
Well, and I heard he also said it's not going to be with anybody that's in the show.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool. He's made offshoots in the same universe. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of...
There's nothing...
covering the same ground if they just did Robert's Rebellion. But if they go back to
That'd be cool stuff.
I'd like to see the Rogue story. That'd be great. I think I'm the only one that read that.
Or the Dance of Dragons story of Targaryen brother, going against each other. Like a Civil War type thing.
Regardless of what they come up with afterwards, it's going to be hard for them to find the grandeur and the build-up and stuff that Game of Thrones has had, though.
No,
I mean...
Yeah. But if they do anything, they're going to keep, 90% of the audience.
Viewership.
Yeah.
I would watch anything in the universe, to be honest. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just, some of the stuff is such a slow burn. It's,
Drug out.
Yeah, you get payoffs later that it's tough to hit, lightning strike twice.
70% of the market share.
That's like you watch regardless of how you feel about Walking Dead, and then you watch Fear the Walking Dead, and more the first season I liked a lot. It's just I didn't even finish the second season.
That's funny.
Which
not good.
I'm sure we'll finish watching it at some point.
Well, it's going to start like in a week.
No, the third season.
Yeah.
So I should probably finish watching that.
Yeah.
There's 6 episodes left.
What do you think, Brian?
Well, I think we covered all. Yeah, I mean, it's a good show. I'm not into it nearly as much as you three.
Did you get excited watching it at all?
Oh, I get like anticipatory. Sure, I'm not. I just don't know as much as you all. Don't follow it as thoroughly.
Okay,
But
me and Katrina have read the books, but the books are we are well past the books.
I've read 2 books.
Okay, I was saying even if you read all the books, we don't know what's coming, which is
No.
actually
I was
like,
gonna
for the
ask.
first time.
I was gonna ask how much does this show deviate from the book? Like
It's like a fifth.
like the show is
You're
1/5 of the book.
There's so many characters that they leave out.
Yeah, I think they get the general like
Direction.
Storyline, absolutely.
I couldn't nitpick changes right now. I remember every episode that they changed little things here and there to make it more concise and group characters together that were.
But they leave out great characters that they don't even touch on at all.
Yeah, but I mean that has to be. We already have so many characters you can't even name them all. Like,
Right.
For instance, but
That's why they have the houses listed at the end of each book, so you can know who's actually in there.
that's like 50 pages in itself. It's
Right.
just the index, like the glossary of like houses and the relations.
Who's there?
And every book it expands. It's actually kind of interesting. If you go to legitimately, you'd be lost if you read the phrase that there are so many. He has like 40 kids, and each one has kids and kids, and
They each branch
like the
off,
Bible.
and they each have their own story.
and half of them are knights, half of them have like land, half of them married into other families. So there's a couple Freys that married Lannisters, and like Freys are everywhere in like the continent, kind of, because
Right. They get married off.
yeah.
That is a lot of content.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit.
It's
like,
honestly kind of why I fell out of the series. That as well as me not having as much time to read as I used to. When I stopped reading, I have more time now. But it's some of it gets drug out. It's just it's not like go in the show. But it's some of it's just it's.
I think it goes for everything. Like, was I talking to you about Lord of the Rings? I was watching. I mean, it wasn't you. I watched a YouTube channel that talked about the book versus movie comparisons. And the book, everything's so slow. It takes like 10 years for them to get the ring and even start the journey.
Well, I read the first 2 Lord of the Rings books too, and they're long.
And there's no like nothing driving them. It's just kind of like wandering around and just. But the movies, like all the changes were to like add like
suspense.
Like we got to get there now. We're being chased horseback. Somebody's on us, or everything was like driving like the point that they're in dire need of getting wherever they got to go.
Yeah.
But the show kind of does that, I guess, in a way.
I guess my largest challenge is finding a source to watch it. So that's got to be what I have to figure out, and how to watch it when it comes out. So that'll be my next goal.
You don't have HBO?
No. We don't have TV with the Fire Stick and then a bunch of just random stuff.
Go.
I'll have to try it. I'll look into it. I'll keep up so I can
That's
get it on
one of the Game of Thrones. There's a handful of things that are one of the reasons we still keep cable.
Yeah.
Like, we're watching American Gods right now, and we don't have pay stations. We only get HBO for Game of Thrones, and we get Stars for American Gods and Ash versus Evil Dead. Have you watched any of it yet? I know you have the first season, right?
It's so good.
I will.
He has the first season.
I bought it, so I'm watching a lot of other stuff. I caught up on Kubo today, which is
so good.
That'll transition us to. My first question is as much as I hyped up Kubo, and anytime somebody hypes up a movie for you, it's hard for it to live up to the expectations that you have.
This was no like Toy Story for me, or Toy Story 3. Like, it would never break.
It wasn't supposed to be.
I guess if I'm not considering live action, but that's like my favorite like animated. Any total animation, it's like Toy Story 1.
It's claymation. It's different.
No, I'm just not considering live action versus non-live action.
Okay.
But when I was watching that, I just can't help but be in awe of like the technical part of it.
It's
like,
amazing.
Like when I watched the Lego movie, I just watched like how it's animated, kind of. I'm just fascinated by that. But just watching Kubo, you can't wrap your head around it. And then you see behind the scenes afterwards, it's like...
It's so awesome.
I was like, how could they do that? There's no way that's claymation. And it is. Yeah. They built a giant fucking skeleton.
Was the paper CG or was it clay animation as well?
Clay. I think
it was great.
I think everything but like maybe background stuff, and green screen effects.
Yeah, the paper was incredible.
Did
you like the movie?
Yeah, the movie's fine. It's touching. It's cute.
It's a solid A.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, and voice acting was fine.
So I should finish this movie then.
It's, to me, like he said, okay, Toy Story and certain Pixar movies are held in their own
regard.
I mean, it's hard to top a Toy Story. For me, this movie was right under it. Like, obviously, you can't put it with an Incredibles. For me, a Ratatouille or Toy Story. I'll agree with you there.
It's so different.
But to me, it's almost on the same level. The animation is way better. I mean, but it's just because you know what comes with it. When it takes for 4 seconds, it takes
hours
and hours and hours and hours and hours.
It's so. I watched a couple videos on the making of.
Is it on Netflix right now?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch
It's
it.
The
so
story
good.
is good. The stop clay animation is good, and the voice acting is good. It was just a solid. For me, it's a solid A.
I got to the first. Was it an old lady or two women that were chasing the kid?
Yeah.
Oh, the sisters.
That's where I got to.
They were creepy
Then I
at
stopped.
first.
Yeah,
creepy.
So I'll watch it this week.
Oh, it's
it
so
is an absolute.
Good.
I don't want your answers kind of because spoiler for Brian, but I'm not quite sure what was going on at the end after the main enemy was defeated. Like
When
It's a culture thing.
because
That's what I would say.
forgot everything, almost.
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep it super vague. I was just like, okay, it wasn't even like the main villain got vanquished and killed. It was another type of.
Yeah, and we were just talking about because we caught like half of the movie the other day, and we
I
watched
put it on,
Yeah,
and the kids were like, "I don't want to watch this."
and I was like,
Is it a dark movie
You
for kids?
fools.
yeah, it is a dark movie,
Yeah.
Because it was like,
but so is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right,
and
they
everyone's
love
like-
that movie.
but there's like death in this
Yeah.
one, and
But
is there death in Nightmare Before Christmas?
the whole movie is death.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's Halloween, but I mean, does any main
They
character actually
attack children.
does main character actually die besides the villain?
Oogie Boogie.
He is
He's
terrifying.
the villain. He's not the villain.
Well, no, I mean, you said it's
He's
no,
trying
it's
to
Besides
no-
the
torture
villain.
Santa Claus. Come on.
No, I'm just saying, like this one, I think kids would be more affected because actual characters.
die.
Yeah.
Kubo at the end basically has to
Take care.
forgive everything that happened to move on. So it's a different kids movie. It's borderline. I think a lot of the stuff that is important in it goes over a kid's head.
Right.
So I mean, you have that, but
Did you tell your wife who did the voice acting?
of what? Oh no, I didn't.
Kubo. Rickon Stark from Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I learned through just trivia that Bran Stark actually is the voice of the Box Trolls main character.
We watched Box Trolls.
That was a great
Okay.
movie.
I haven't
Box
seen it.
Trolls.
It was so weird.
Same company made it.
Box Trolls is way more disturbing
Dark.
to children.
Oh, yeah.
Than Kubo. Like
Oh,
I
really?
watched Box Trolls and I'm like,
Why are they
is
watching this?
Weird. Like it was bizarre.
Which one's Rickon? Is that the
He's
Red
one of the guys-
Wedding kid?
He got arrowed
Oh,
by
arrowed by
Bolton.
Ramsey.
Oh, the kid that was running away.
Yeah.
The youngest.
Fucker. Yeah, I
The
know.
guy that played Shang Tsung did a voice in it.
from the original movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
So you had obviously Ray Fiennes and
I recognize everybody else out there. The
Charlize
only one who
Theron.
I actually knew during the movie I could tell was McConaughey.
McConaughey. Yeah, McConaughey. What about George Takei?
I didn't recognize it.
Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
No?
Well, one of the
I didn't go back and watch it, so I don't know who he was. He a villager?
one of the villagers went, "Oh my!"
Yes.
So it's
like classic line.
That's his.
I would have had. I would if I see it now. I'm sure I'd recognize it.
Rooney Mara was the sisters.
Really?
Yeah, and then the rest of the
She's
cast
creepy.
was an actual Asian cast. So
So they whitewashed the main characters.
yeah,
Rooney Mara does that a lot. Pan.
nobody saw Pan but you.
Yeah.
She got a lot of backlash before the movie came out. That
Was she the
Well,
Indian?
who was she?
yeah, she was supposed to play
Tiger Lily?
But,
Tiger Lily.
But in that movie, like
wow.
they were the Native Americans or Native Indians, whatever, were all different ethnicities. So it wasn't like they were playing like the old stereotype from the old cartoon where they have red skins.
Okay.
It didn't do that at all. They had painted faces and whatever. Not a great movie.
Yeah.
The guy that
I had high hopes.
did the animation for this, he was an animator and he was directed it. He also was the lead animator on the Box Trolls, Paranorman, which I never saw the whole movie, but I wanted to, but it was too dark for the boys.
Yeah. The dog
Coraline and the PJs.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he's a claymation
thing. Coraline's
expert.
going to be on the shelf for a while.
Yeah. Parker wanted to get Katrina a book, and he Neil Gaiman wrote Coraline, and it's like a borderline kids book. It's supposed to be a kids book.
Well, we're gonna read it together.
But so we bought her the book and the movie, and the movie is creepy. Have you seen Coraline?
I won't let him watch it
It's
until he
very
reads
creepy.
it.
I heard one little kid was saying the little people with button eyes scared him.
Well, they go through to the other, like a door to the other side.
the veil.
And she has her mom.
Was that your kids then?
No, but on the other side, it's her other mother, and it's just like her mother, but she has buttons for eyes instead of regular eyes. It's creepy.
Yeah, apparently I heard.
Yeah. Parker's not ready for that.
It's yeah.
Yeah, no.
It is creepy. I liked it a lot, but I really...
We saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I've always liked stop clay animation. It's one of my favorites.
I noticed like it wasn't like super like apparent, but I liked the soundtrack. It was just like listen to it when it's nothing going on the screen. I'm like, okay. Like I couldn't tell you why I liked it.
I like that movie a lot.
I did too.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Did we see that in theaters? We didn't see it in theaters, did we?
No. We got on a Redbox.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was.
And then you told him to watch it. And
That movie, I just seen a list. It was on like Dorkly or something. Movies that got beat out by dumb movies for the opening weekend, and I can't remember every movie that went
they were
up against.
pushing it hard.
Kubo.
Yeah.
Kubo didn't lost
do
out opening weekend to
Yeah.
some fucking turd movie. I don't remember what it was. Probably like Grown Ups 2 or something.
Because the girl who plays Rosa on 9-9 was pushing it really hard too.
It was
Was pushing Kubo? Mm-hmm. Why?
on
I
some
don't know.
like IMDb like under the trivia. I think it said it was the lowest grossing movie of that studio. At only
it was such a great
78
movie.
mil.
Which is funny because on like Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 96%.
Right.
It just couldn't get the viewership, which sucks because
It's so good.
time and effort and everything just.
Well, and it has a reverse effect like the Deadpool did with R-rated movies. Now people are going to be like, oh, maybe a Stop Clay
Isn't so bad.
isn't the kind of movie that we want to do because look at Kubo was a great movie and it lost out on...
Yeah, it's fucking sucks.
Which kind of, it does.
Like,
it sucks.
I mean, on that same list, the other guys was on. It got beat out by some dumbass movie. I'm like, that sucks. I like the other guys a lot.
I was reading a list and it said the 3 most underrated movies of all last year were the Nice Guys. You said the other
That was
guys.
good.
That's what I meant.
The Nice Guys, Kubo, and Green Room.
That's funny.
Those are great movies.
Yeah, we had seen
All of them.
Nice Guys and Kubo, and I kept wanting to watch Green Room. We finally watched it, and
That was good.
you should give it a watch, Corey. It's worth watching. Kubo had a 97% of.
You know what it lost to?
What?
Suicide Squad.
Shitty movie.
Yeah, and Sausage Party and War Dogs.
Oh, the article talking about War Dogs beat it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Is Green Room good? You
Yes.
saw it? Okay.
Did you see it?
No. I
It's
It's
worth
good.
a watch. It's different.
It is weird.
It is, and like
That's with Patrick Stewart, right?
yeah,
Oh.
Patrick
And,
Stewart.
what's his name?
Anton Yelchin.
Yeah.
No, he's good.
And it's not a long movie, but it's not a horror movie. It's not
It's awkward.
It's not a. I guess it's kind of a thriller. What happens is
It's
it's this
racially motivated.
Yeah, it's a punk band they're like a super like broke punk band, and they're
Trying to tour.
They're trying to tour and they're getting shows and they get this show and it ends up being at like a white power club out in the middle of nowhere, and they start off with an anti-Nazi song like right away, and so they play their show, they go get their money, and they forgot something back
She
in.
forgot her charger.
She
in
forgot
the
her
green
charger
room.
in the green room, and they go back in the green room and there's a dead person on the floor. So they hold the band there and
Hostage.
and what the movie is what ensues after that. Patrick Stewart's the head of the Nazi club,
It's so weird.
and there's not a lot of violence in it, but the violence that is in it is so graphic
Brutal.
and so brutal. It's just like wow, but it's worth a watch.
All right.
It wasn't an incredible movie, but it's definitely something that's different.
Backwoods, white.
Yeah, it's. I wonder what that had on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that I'm looking at these movies.
It
What
was
do you think?
weird.
I'd say it
Duct
had.
tape.
I'm gonna say it had an 83 to 88.
That's pretty
87.
high.
That's what I was gonna say initially.
That's higher than Guardians 2.
Really?
Wasn't Guardians 2 low?
It was at 86.
Was it?
Green Room 90%.
Oh, see?
Good.
Watch
it's-
it.
Which I mean, we
There's
still need.
worse things you can watch.
We need to see Get Out.
Yes.
And what was the movie that we wanted to see?
It Comes at Night.
Yeah, we got to see that. I'm hoping that it has a wide release, but there's a couple independent theaters here that we might be able to catch it at.
I've been seeing a lot of it's like commercials on like YouTube for it. So like legitimate. I think it's. I don't know who picked it up. If another big studio did.
But it comes out June 9th, which is less than 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it has 7 reviews on it on.
That's not a good
online.
sign. But considering it was all 100%.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So hopefully it's supposed to be really good. I started reading a review for it, then I was like, you know what, I don't want to keep
No.
reading.
Why?
Why didn't I want to keep reading?
Well, no, it doesn't ruin it for you.
No, that's exactly why I wanted to stop reading. So I read, they were talking about how it's very unique, very good. And
Right now, we don't know the twist or like what the virus or whatever is in the movie. We don't know if it's a virus. Kind of makes it look
it
like
could be monsters, it could be anything.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
We
Just
don't.
wait.
We want to see.
No, that's why you want to read the
why.
review. That's what. Like, I would like to be surprised. I'm sorry. Did we talk about the trailer with you? You watch it?
No, but I'm wondering, have you gotten to the point now where has anyone decided just to not watch trailers? I have some friends that do that, and they don't watch any trailers at all. You, Katrina? Okay.
I don't, unless they're in the theater.
She didn't
Where do I
watch. She
go?
didn't watch anything in Game of Thrones or anything on American Gods.
It's
Or
too hard for me
it's
to
a lie.
avoid.
She watched all of it. Every little quip on any of that stuff you've watched. So maybe not.
I
movie
watched American
stuff.
Gods through Comic-Con. I watched Justice League through Comic-Con.
If you're an internet user and something big like Game of Thrones show, I couldn't go anywhere without
See,
seeing
I didn't see the
for
second
it.
trailer. I only saw the first one.
For what?
Game of Thrones.
Oh.
When they're walking through their thrones.
Oh. Wait, so what?
What?
You didn't
are you
see this
talking
one?
about?
This new one that just came out?
That was the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. You just saw it. So
Okay, but have you been on the internet in the last like 3 days then?
Yes.
Okay, if you go to like sites like
that's such bullshit because I'll be like, you've sent me text this year, be like, oh hey, did you watch this trailer?
Well, for Thor, yes, because that was great.
That's the same thing.
But I don't watch everything.
Nobody watches everything.
There's just too much out there.
yeah, I do watch a lot of trailers for movies like even movies I know I'm never going to watch like just see.
There's a
okay,
new Spider-Man one out and I haven't watched it.
Nope.
I
The
did.
international one?
Yeah.
It shows this dark tech.
So you've watched the whole movie.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I figured I already did. But he's gonna have like I think it sounds like a computer voice in his suit or whatever.
Like Jarvis?
You have 436 different combinations of web some power or something something
Nice.
weird like that. It's like, oh, this is so cool. And then I'm just telling you. You want to hear this?
I want to talk about the trailer now, but I don't. Like, do you care?
You can talk about it. Go ahead.
They figure out they hack in and they're like, look at all these programs you could have, but they're locked by Mr. Stark's computer. They have a time release. So he's like, this is like your training protocol. So I was like, we gotta unlock it all.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be like more when he gets the suit taken away. Like it actually.
Like Castlevania.
What?
Like a Castlevania in the games, you start out with everything and then
Yeah.
It's taken away.
Well, I think it's gonna be like Spanish, like, well, and the trailer's like, I need that suit. It's the only thing. If
that reminds me. Didn't a trailer for the Castlevania Netflix show come out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Nope.
No.
Did you?
never heard of it.
Never heard of Castlevania or that there's a show?
The show.
Yeah, there's gonna
Oh,
be a
it's
show
been
on
like
Netflix.
everywhere, all over Facebook.
Yeah, where have you? Have you used the internet in the last 3 days?
When did the trailer come out?
It's within
Days ago.
Friday, maybe?
I'd say within the last 4 days, 5 days.
Okay, that's interesting.
What's today? Sunday?
Yeah,
Yeah, Friday?
Okay, if a girl I went
Thursday?
to grade school with knew about it, come on, Corey.
yeah, Corey. If a girl she
Yeah.
knew in grade school.
That's funny.
Grade school.
So I just watched Netflix today. I thought it'd be like posted somewhere on it.
Yeah, usually they do. They put like
Watch this,
Yeah.
Yeah, on the main page. Yeah, I just
Because
coincidentally.
I mean,
missed it.
obviously, Castlevania is that ever a game you were into? I played a handful.
I never played one.
But would you watch it on Netflix? Video games.
It was good. Yeah,
Even if it was.
I never watched that
Okay.
Dracula movie, Dracula Untold Tale.
Well, I understand, but that's not made after a video game. Castlevania is specifically made after
Oh, Bram Stoker's Dracula's
Video-
the best one.
video
I'll
game.
watch that.
To me, because it's made after a video game, doesn't make it instantly more appealing.
What if I'm saying, hey, we're going to do a podcast? You have to.
No, that's fine. But it'd be the same boat.
Well, then
Like
it's homework.
I would be
Yeah.
just as interested in watching that vampire show as I would that Dracula, whatever.
What's the name of the crime thing that's on there right now on Netflix with the nuns and stuff?
Oh.
Handmaiden's Tale?
No, that's on
No,
that's
no,
on
no.
Amazon. This is something different. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the next Making a Murderer.
She confronts a priest about.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
something, and then they find her dead later.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's like a documentary.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
documentary on
Oh.
Netflix, and it's like the next big.
For every 20 Netflix shows that come out, I've heard of one or I've watched one.
That's
Because there's so many.
They do produce a lot. So
I think they just
They're
throw,
pushing.
They throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Like nobody expected Stranger Things to do as well.
It's called The
No.
Keepers.
that's probably
Yes.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
or Making a Murderer.
yeah.
That took off.
The only thing they probably banked on doing well was the Marvel stuff.
That's probably true.
I heard that Dear White People is supposed to be really good too.
It's supposed to make
also
white
on
people
Scrubs.
really uncomfortable, from what I've heard.
I think it's supposed to make shitty white people feel really uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'll find out which side I'm on when I watch
I
it.
remember the trailer made everybody super upset, but then I watched like in thorough like analysis. It was a movie before or something like that, and it didn't seem that as offensive as people thought. People just overreact to.
Well, it depends on where you live too.
Yeah.
Because
What movie were you just talking about? Where you said was it
Get
Get
Out?
Out?
Yeah, on Get Out, like I haven't seen it, but everybody, critically, it was 100% except for Armand White.
It was just stupid.
Peel made it, right?
Yeah. No, was it Peele? No, it was the other one, right? There's two of them.
Jordan Peele and I don't know.
Anyways,
It was Michael Keegan.
Yeah.
Who was the tall one? Anyway, one of those
No,
guys.
I think it was Peele. I think it was Jordan Peele.
Because he's going to be on Friends for College.
oh god,
And I want to watch
Have
that.
you watched that trailer
I
yet?
have not. I seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
And I
She
heard
showed me the trailer.
I heard somebody talk about it, and I was like, I meant to watch it, to be honest. I was like,
you're
that
doing-
sounds good.
They're banging on this like a
Pharmacist.
pharmacy that's like closed, and there's like the gates on it, and they're like, the pharmacist is like, I don't have any oxycodone or whatever, and they're like, it's fertility pills. I need fertility pills because for whatever, and
They're trying to get pregnant.
he's like, I'll suck your dick, and she's like, what? And the whole after that is him talking about how much money it would
$30,000.
cost for him to suck somebody's dick. So it looks entertaining.
I want to watch it.
So what are you going to say about... Oh, you going to look up the name real quick?
Yeah, I want to know his name real quick. Director,
It's
Get Out.
what's her face's husband?
Is that
Jordan
Chelsea?
Peele.
Is that
99.
Peretti? Are they right?
Yes.
Okay. I was because they had those commercials. I was wondering if they were actually together.
Well, it was.
No, they are totally together.
It's a critically acclaimed movie, and if you look at the comments on Facebook on certain sites, people are like, "This is the shittiest movie. This is a big pile of crap." But if you click on those people's profiles,
White
it's
supremacist.
very right wing, Bible
Confederate.
thumping. Those kind of typical. I'm not
We're
saying all
going in a couple
Republicans. I'm not
weeks.
saying all Republicans are like that, but it's the stereotypes you see of those type of people.
I have two real world like comparisons kind of like that. What do you feel like they took down some Civil War statues?
Confederate statues.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, recently. And people went up in arms about that.
With the torches, and they looked like a
And
lynch
the
mob.
hallway.
I didn't actually see photos of them.
Oh, it was.
I just heard-
They were whole in the dark.
That's Jackson Square.
50 people, just the torches ready to fucking kill Frankenstein or do some crazy
Kill
shit.
Frankenstein.
I mean, they were lynch mob ready
So
for this.
are you guys like anti-statue or like what's your stance on it?
It's somebody said, are there a bunch of Nazi memorials in Germany? No, they take that shit down because
It's called the Holocaust Museum.
they have the music. What was that? What did Spicer call it?
A Holocaust Center.
A Holocaust Center.
Oh my God.
That's not the museum, but
Yeah, it was it. But
Oh.
that's stuff that you can learn about in history books. You don't need to see it while you're walking on the street.
Right.
It's not
statues
necessary.
are usually meant to celebrate something,
Yeah.
not to.
Well, I have it in my hallway, so if you want to see it, there it is.
let me ask you this.
That's Jackson Square in New Orleans.
Right, I think they took him down.
Oh, in the square?
Yes.
Oh.
Hypothetical, if somebody had a statue of Robert E. Lee, he was a Southern general, but he was all around like a decent guy. He wouldn't like execute people. He was just a guy fighting for his side of it. Like he was
Taking
treated with
orders.
respect.
But he
No.
chose that side.
Yeah, he was a general. So is a
He
statue?
could have fought on either side.
Right.
Yeah, he was actually at West
Yes.
Point, so is a statue of him in like his hometown? Is that offensive?
Well, he fought for racism. I mean, he fought for slavery, basically.
Basically,
So,
you could make the argument he fought for states' rights because it was the government saying that states couldn't have whatever slaves, whatever. But
Yes, I
before it was
understand
state by state. So you can make the argument, even if you say you own no
So
slaves.
the state says it's okay to have slaves, that's okay?
If it's the
well, a lot of
state's
people say the
decision.
states should govern themselves.
So I'm not saying he's in the right, but say he had no slaves and he believes in states' rights and he fought for his home state.
He's still fighting for the side that
Right.
was
So-
okay with enslaving
so,
other people.
If his home state had a statue of him because he was a hero in whatever means.
But that's not what his statue represents.
I'd say if you want to
at
have a
all.
museum that teaches about Robert E. Lee, that's fine. But the statue, like Brian said, a statue is there to celebrate something, and the statue would need to be taken down.
So do only sides who win get statues?
No.
So if the South had won, if somebody had Abraham Lincoln statue,
Well, how long
You
did the
say take
Berlin
it
Wall
down?
stand before that was taken down?
I don't know.
But the thing is the right. I mean, when does the wrong side win? I guess in history we're only taught about the right side, but when it comes to something as than slavery
rights.
or now just basic human rights. The right side is the one for equality, not for pushing
so people who
down.
were pushing for the AIDS, research versus those who were just trying to quiet it,
Like now, like we live in California, we're all about gay rights. It's equality. Everybody should be created equal. That's how it should be. Where other parts of the country, it's like, we don't want you here. And those are the wrong sides, regardless if they want to believe they're wrong. I mean, it's easy for us to stand up and say, hey, you're wrong, but when you're trying to put somebody else down
they're wrong.
and elevate yourself,
they're wrong.
You're wrong.
At what point would stupid people complain, like, say a bunch of, like, Native Americans got mad that there was an Andrew Jackson memorial somewhere, like, statue, and he, like...
They took it down.
Andrew Jackson?
Yes. In Louisiana.
Why'd they take down his?
Like a couple weeks ago. They took it down.
So I would say, at what point is, like, too many people, like, feeling...
That's what I have in my hallway. That's Jackson Square.
I'm going to throw the fucking thing out the door then. I mean, stop talking about the stupid fucking thing on the door in my hallway.
So, I think, like...
There was a huge thing in the paper about it.
We were in New Orleans, and there was a guy painting stuff on the street. Yeah, and that's Jackson Square in New Orleans.
I thought this was like at Disneyland or something.
No, we were in New Orleans.
Like, I get, like, racist, like, stuff, but at what point, if, like, somebody's going to be offended by something...
Well, at this point, everybody's offended by everything.
Yeah. So, like, at what point do you see that, like... obviously, they give up the statue in the South after 50 years of...
They still have plantation tours.
Well, yeah.
So, a little...
Well, really fast, didn't a Bill Cosby statue get taken down somewhere? Because of all of those accusations.
Oh, I didn't know he had a statue.
I may be mistaken. I know that Joe Paterno had his statue taken down because even though he didn't participate, he kind of covered it up. So he was for it, but he didn't report it. So that was definitely have to go down.
How do you guys feel about the Wonder Woman movie theater showing?
Oh, that was on my list too.
Being pissed off about not being one of
well, just in
women's
general.
only.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't care.
Okay.
If they have it, but you can't get upset about men being upset because everybody's upset about people being excluded, and if you're creating something that's for one specific person, which Wonder Woman, first female-led superhero movie, basically.
Okay. First female directed.
I think it's cool, but you can't get mad at people about being offended about it because everybody is getting offended by
everything,
excluding people, and now you're celebrating excluding people.
Okay, so the guy that did this is one guy who bought a ticket, and he was really upset on Twitter. And to me, this guy's just doing it just to be an asshole.
Yeah,
like he's not doing it because he's mad. He's doing it because I'm a guy and I'm gonna swing my dick and make this happen as my magic wand. So like I think that's stupid. As far as the having,
but why does it need to be women's only?
Why does it have to be?
They're doing that. They're doing a women's only.
But why?
Because they're just doing it. What does it matter why?
So it's the Alamo Draft House, and they're doing it, and they're raising money for charities for they're going to donate all proceeds to women's cancer research. So making an event because.
But doesn't that counteract the whole thing?
The story to me is the epitome of seeing people freak out over nothing. Like you can watch the movie at any venue, and you're mad that one private venue only wants to show one screening to only women, and everybody losing their goddamn minds. I think it's so funny.
It's ridiculous.
I know ostensibly it is excluding people, but it's not nationwide. It is at one location.
It's a private place.
For one showing.
Or one night or one weekend. I don't know.
But if you change women to whites,
it doesn't matter.
Then it's a problem. You know what I mean? So you could see where excluding people would be fine.
There's a double standard, but I don't think that standard it shouldn't matter in any situation in a way.
To me, it's kind of cool. You'd be like, okay, hey, I'm a mom. I'm going to take my daughter to this all-woman's thing to see a powerful woman superhero movie directed by a woman. So, I mean, it's cool. It's fine. I really don't have a problem with it, but you can't be mad about somebody else being offended by it because they're excluding somebody. I think that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah. I don't think you and I, Robert, you and I probably don't have any room to talk about any discrimination ever because we're both white males.
Well, Corey's not white?
He is. He's Jewish though, so he has at least.
Not.
I have a loophole.
He is. He's
You pretend.
You're touching me a lot.
He's not Jewish.
Wait, he's not Jewish.
No, not really.
No.
I thought he was Jewish the whole time.
Don't buy into his lie.
I thought he was.
No.
Okay, we're gonna rewind
Italian.
this. Okay, so
Italian Jews.
all right, whatever. Okay, so now, us three don't have any rule because we're.
So I'm not white, is what you're saying.
No, you're a woman.
You're a woman.
Oh.
This goes back to my argument, like how
That's not the point. That's not what he's trying to make.
like it's weird to me that like a black person can be upset about can discriminate against a gay person. Like that doesn't make sense to me at all. Like unless you're a white person, I don't see why you should complain about any discrimination.
Walk on eggshells.
Because you've had that before.
Well, no, we've never felt discrimination.
Yeah. So if you felt discrimination, how can you discriminate? Like RuPaul did this once on Twitter. She said, I'm not black enough to the black community. I'm not gay enough to the gay community. I'm not effeminate enough to the whatever.
Female.
Yeah, and it was just like
You're
she can't win. And it was
Yes.
it was disheartening. And
I do not
Welcome to my world.
on comment like on Facebook.
the women the women
No. I don't have a hand. I don't act feminine. I don't belong anywhere.
That's right. Get out.
Right?
End
No.
of the movie.
I was referenced as a man in front of you. You remember that
Yeah.
at Comic-Con?
Yeah. Oh, that asshole. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Anyway.
Right.
Anytime there's anything on Facebook or anything like that, I don't make comments on it because I've never experienced racism, prejudice, any of that.
Sucks.
And I don't understand, and I feel for the people that have experienced it. It sucks. Like it sucks that that's still around, and we tried to hide it for so long that
Or ignore it.
and that it
Gloss
wasn't
it
there,
over.
and just not think about it. But it is there. It's obviously there. I don't experience it, but
If you want to experience it, try to go to the Alamo Draft House. You're gonna get much prejudice.
Where is this?
Texas?
Yeah, probably that one. I don't know if there's more.
it's in
than one.
Austin.
So, okay, I had an interaction in the elevator before I moved regarding the whole Trump situation
Before you moved where?
to my new office.
Okay.
And they were referencing about women's rights. And I was like, how about just human rights? I was like, who cares about being a woman? Just being a human in person. Mm-hmm. That's what you need to worry about. And that's what my concern is. Who cares about an all-women's viewing of Wonder Woman? Who cares? If a guy wants to go, who cares? Big fucking deal. Let him go.
This is going to be like our Emmy episode
Yeah.
of this podcast.
Do you think it's less offensive to the people that easily get offended because the money is going to charity?
Hopefully, but I think too many people are too sensitive about a lot.
Everything.
Like, if there are real problems in the world, and a screening of Wonder Woman should be the least
I don't
of
get
it.
to go. Poor
Like,
me.
It shouldn't be. It should be like a minor concern of everybody at the very most.
People do whatever. I'm a liberal. I'm a progressive. I feel. I'm done talking.
Oh, no,
That was poor timing.
that was her.
No,
Go ahead.
No, I already took me out of it. No,
Poor timing.
no, I'm already done.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know. That's why I'm done. I was in the middle of the thought. Fucking bitchy McBitch face over here fucking messed me up, and now
I can't even call this.
this is all recording. Yeah.
Oh no, you paused.
No, this is all recording.
Oh,
I lost my train of thought.
My apologies.
It's too late.
that's so funny.
All right.
So, next subject.
Well, no, I had something else too to bring up after this, and I forgot it all because fucking
What are you talking
asshole
about?
over
Super
here.
sensitive things nowadays.
I want to know. I bet this guy that's trying to get into this Wonder Woman showing probably like took off work and he's making it like trying to make this really focused effort to go see this movie.
it's like
We could just-
It's all about him.
we could just get off work and go see it. It's just
It's everybody look at me, look at me, look at me.
man.
Trying to be a troll. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's allowed to troll. If they don't catch him, well, let him in. If he dresses like a woman, that's actually funny.
I think
But
they said
too
he
much
said something about.
For
He said
What if
something
he
about he
associated-
can't, like if he identified
As
and
a
they're
woman?
like, well, like it's discrimination. And someone said, well, you can't discriminate because there's the same option at the same time, 20 steps down down the alley or down the aisle. So, but yeah, he just seems like an idiot.
I mean, that's like saying, oh, there's a private screening. You're discriminating me. I can't go to that private screening. I mean, we went to the Batman vs Superman thing.
too many people think they're entitled to everything.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
I'm special. Let me in.
Yeah. Here, I have victim points. I'm
Victim points.
And that's coming from 4 people that are on the left end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, we all are, but I mean, it's still people are way too sensitive. And you can be a liberal and still think that people are too sensitive. Those aren't mutually exclusive
No, they're not.
ideas.
yeah. It's so dumb.
Like, I can be pro police officer and pro equal rights. I could be, anti guns and pro police. You could be anti abortion and still be non religious. I mean, these things aren't mutually exclusive. I'm not anti abortion. I'm pro choice. I'll put that there. But I'm just saying, you can have different ideas and different beliefs. You don't have to be on one side
But
of the
people
board.
don't think that way.
I know, but that's
When little kids are being blown up at Ariana Grande concerts and somebody's worried about
Okay.
getting a ticket for a Wonder Woman show. Like,
Yeah.
perspective. I mean, I've seen like a lot of cool stories about people doing a lot of shit for like helping out the victims.
Right.
Free ride, like taxis or giving people a place to stay that night. Just
tea.
everybody fucking hopped to on that and fucking over there.
It's because
Well, that's a community.
No,
Well,
They're rallying together.
And I think the Queen visited a couple victims, and
that's
like,
the thing. Is good people rally together when times get tough.
But when there aren't tough times, people complain about I can't get a
Wonder
ticket
Woman.
to see the Wonder. It's like, come on, dude, just
Where's your
That
perspective?
shouldn't even be news.
yeah, like man the fuck up.
We should be talking about those guys that fucking put themselves in that situation in Portland. And
Oh,
tried,
yeah.
Save that
Yeah.
person?
save that. I mean, try to not that she was. I mean, not literally save her life. She was being, although he had a knife, so they could have been in the process
Just
of
as
saving her
easily.
life.
Yeah.
But just sticking up for somebody that's getting just fucking screamed at.
That's way bigger news. Than,
Yeah, and these guys fucking died as heroes. I mean, I can't remember their names right now. That I read them today, but still, those guys are fucking heroes.
So when you see little stupid stories that try to blow up big like things, it's
Poor
like,
me.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's
Like some stuff's funny, like Pepsi releasing that dumbass commercial. That's funny. People lost their fucking minds, said they never would drink Pepsi again. I was like,
I didn't even see it.
it's a goddamn commercial. Same thing as Super Bowl ad. Everybody flipped the fuck out over
With
that.
the Anheuser-Busch one?
Yeah, like come on, blow up your big boy pants. Don't be bitches.
I can't believe I thought you were Jewish the entire time.
Oh god,
Wow.
That's funny, man.
that's
Like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I literally.
Your mind is blown.
so.
I was like,
so Raul
wait.
got me like a yarmulke. He thought, oh, that's nice of him. He's a cool guy.
No.
You bought him that. Wait.
No, that's no.
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. The thing. You bought him the thing, and it just.
No.
It's still
that
there.
on here.
No, it was a joke.
Oh my
Come
Well,
on.
I can't sit on here while I bought you. So
No, we're
it's
not going down that road. Okay. That's
Now you get a little sensitive, bro.
no.
Wait,
I wonder if
but
this will come up then there. Oh, it was too silent. Never mind.
Of course.
Ricky John Best, Talisin Murden Nam Kayameke.
what
I can't
language
pronounce
are
his
you
name.
fucking speaking?
There was another
We're both
gentleman,
killed.
but I thought it was a different thing.
Gentleman.
And Micah David Cole was the one that survived.
2 were military, weren't they?
I don't know.
I think so.
I'd like to think that if I was put in that situation, I would have done the same thing.
But not being stabbed.
No, he jumped out of a
No,
car to help somebody on the freeway.
I've done stuff where I've jumped out and
Yes.
tried to help people and stuff, but
You drove past.
That's
the
how
last
he's
one.
gonna freaking
Which one?
die.
The one guy who killed himself over by your house the other day.
oh my god, are you fucking serious?
You drove past
No.
it.
I called the
Don't
police.
even do that.
No, he drove past it
No, I got texts about this,
and
so
then turned
no.
around, and then he's like,
He called 911.
Yeah.
and they said nothing I do here, folks, and took off.
No,
He said,
That's not what happened.
that's
Is
all,
this,
folks.
Is this in
It was an accident right here.
Oh, no.
By the freeway, like
The
when you get off the
guy
freeway,
drove under a semi truck. Like he
lost everything.
completely went under.
It
He
was
was dead.
probably, yeah.
And I pulled past it. I was like,
Settlement
you know what? I
impact.
need to drive back. And I drove back, and the driver was just like this, and somebody standing next to him. And I was like, has anybody called the police yet? And they said, no, it just happened. So I called the police.
Uh-huh.
and I kept driving. The guy was gone. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a SUV that drove into the back of a semi-truck, and the top of it was gone. It was all under the car. So I called, and I said, I let him know. I said, I don't think anybody is alive. But as I was driving, they were
Coming.
coming.
When did you have time to take the selfie?
Huh?
Man,
Selfie. That's terrible.
asshole.
It was the worst accident I've ever seen in my life. It was bad.
In person.
In person, yes. Maybe even not in person. It was bad.
I know, I've seen Deadpool, that dead body fly up on the...
That's not like... I'm not talking a fucking action movie. I'm saying, like, not that I go around looking for, like, brutal...
No, after the Blink-182 concert, Upside Down Truck.
Google it real quick.
What?
The Blink-182 concert, Upside Down Truck.
When?
Oh,
yeah. We were coming back from a concert.
And I was like,
there
there better be a fucking accident because I'm gonna be pissed.
And
It was a little while afterward, but there were still multiple cop cars, highway patrol, fire trucks, and ambulances, and you could see blood on the ground.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Yikers.
Yeah,
you wished that upon somebody?
Apparently.
Wow.
There was a flip car in the 8 on Tuesday night.
There was 2 flip cars in Santee today after 52. 2.
That's
Not even together. Separate accidents.
separate accidents.
Yeah, and one of them fled the scene, so you know somebody either stole a car or they crashed drunk.
Took off.
Took off.
Because if you're a drunk driver and you flip your car, you can just be like, I'm gonna run home and report my car stolen. And
No one's gonna know it's me.
If you can get away with that,
Yeah.
good luck to you.
Yeah, fucking asshole. Anybody that drives drunk today
Dumb.
with Uber and Lyft, and there's always been taxis. Anybody that drives drunk, it's beyond me. Like, why? Why would you do it?
I'm cool, man.
I can make it. You're not gonna make
It's
it.
100% people thinking they can make it.
Maybe you will, but the damage that you can cause by not just getting a lift is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This was a pretty serious episode.
Do we want to try to lighten it up a bit? We have
No,
some
we're at-
lighted. Are we at
Not
time?
at all.
Are we timed
We're
out?
at 52 minutes.
What do you want to go to?
I don't know, man.
I got American Gods to watch. What are you doing?
It's your podcast. You were deciding what we talk about, so
Well, I anything that's gonna fill
10
8
minutes.
minutes. Yeah, you can have like 10 minutes.
we could touch on all the summer movies I wrote down.
Okay, go over you're going over all the topics that you put down.
Go.
All right, so we'll just do quick hits. So summer movies that we listed as far as anticipation. We'll start with Wonder Woman because we didn't really talk about like the
What are
movie.
your other subjects?
Memorable boss fights, underrated, overrated Easter eggs, and needed sequels.
Well, because these are things we can go over in another podcast too.
Yeah, we could.
I'm just anticipated movies. I don't know, man. It seems like such a opposite direction from
Where
what we've
we're
been
at.
talking about. What did we start the podcast talking about?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. To Kubo to like politically
Serious shit.
which we really don't talk about on here very often.
No, one thing led to another. With Get Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Great movie.
I haven't seen it.
I know.
I'd like to.
Are other movies divisive like that we can think of? That, like,
Schindler's List.
some people don't like?
Divisive.
What? Racists don't, or Nazis
American
don't like
History
that?
X.
I feel like any that's what we were to say. Star Wars. They said that there's the possibility that Poe and Finn might
Have a relationship.
possibly somehow have a romantic relationship,
Ugh.
and people lost their shit. If you want to see the biggest scum on earth, read the fucking comment section on anything like that.
Or the fact, that was a little bit, but there's gonna be a black stormtrooper. That's not should be
Yeah.
allowed in
Yeah.
Star Wars. And I was like, what the?
Who
You didn't know
cares?
it was a trailer. You had no idea what he could have been wearing a costume
Yeah.
of a stormtrooper, and people had
People
no
don't
idea.
care.
And they rushed to judgment and criticized Micro. Like,
And if you start a sentence that you're typing and you say,
I'm
I
not
like
racist.
gay people, but no, there's no,
No,
but.
but.
There's no, or like, I'm not racist, but as soon as you are, sorry, you fucked up. You're just an asshole. Because it's like, I was reading the comment section on that Star Wars thing, and I'm just like, these are just the worst people. Like, this does not belong in Star Wars. Why? Because in a fucking movie that has infinite galaxies and planets, you don't think that there's other people that have, dudes fuck dudes? I mean, There's so many different species. There's probably species that died out because all they did was fuck each other and didn't reproduce.
Do you want an American God scene in the next Star Wars?
I want an American God scene in every movie.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing.
We
No,
touched on
It was a little bit much.
Even in that
Much?
situation?
The gay scene in American Gods?
What about it? Why was it so bad? I don't understand.
Well,
It was
for
just
one,
a
when you
guy
have
gyrating on another guy. It's not like it was over the top.
When you have an erection on screen,
There wasn't an erection on screen.
you seen when he was
They had an orgasm on scene, but it was like in a
when
mystical
they showed
place.
missionary. You seen the other guy's erection?
Did you?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I didn't say.
So
Catch
what?
That.
At one point, it becomes like more than TVMA. I don't know at what point.
It is paid for TV.
Well,
So you want that in Star Wars? You're saying there's nothing wrong
No,
with
that's
that?
not what I'm
No, you said
saying.
TVMA.
Why does it matter?
Yeah, I said you want that next Star Wars. And you're like, no, yeah, it's fine. What's the matter?
Why does it matter?
I think TVMA ends up
Because
being.
little kids don't need to be seeing erections for one.
But see, that's
That's true.
is Star Wars rated R
No.
or NC-17?
No.
No,
So why do you want it?
that's not what I'm saying. Why
Why
does
do you
it
want such
matter?
graphic scenes in Star Wars?
Okay, let's just turn this on Katrina.
So the argument, like in R-rated movies, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying.
What does it matter?
Because it's a little kid still watching it.
I'm not taking my little kid to see a rated R movie.
No, Star Wars isn't rated R.
Okay.
Oh, we're specifically
So
talking about Star
PG-13.
Wars.
That's not going to be in a PG-13 movie.
Corey's talking in circles.
Yes, he is.
Okay, PG-13. Okay, just I was
That's
saying
not going to be in a PG-13 movie.
it better not, right?
No.
There's not going to be any full on penetration. And the thing is,
Penetration.
and the thing is they don't show even in like paid like.
And it was like a mystical.
even in like Skinamax, they don't show penetration because it's softcore stuff. There's not actual penetration. It's not porn.
You don't think you're going to see a lightsaber going in any orifice anytime soon?
Not in
No.
not in
Now
that
you're
kind of Star
reaching.
Wars.
Did they do that?
No, I didn't have a problem with the gay scene. But back to the comment
I know
section,
you didn't.
there was like it was like, oh, Brian Fuller, who's awesome, talks about this groundbreaking scene, and every comment under it, like, this isn't groundbreaking. I saw the gay sex in this show, and this show, and this show, and this show, and I'm like, why does everybody just have to bitch about everything?
Is
all
that
the
like
time?
when I said Star Wars being, or sorry, Disney being super proud that the first gay character they had in Beauty and the Beast
And you couldn't even tell?
was like 10 years too late, and it wasn't anything like out
Special?
there. Yeah.
I didn't even catch it.
Like,
So.
pat himself on the back. Yeah, look at us.
It was like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Look how trendy we are.
One of the comments under it was like, that's not anything new. C-3PO and R2-D2 have been gay for each other for fucking 40 years.
Nice.
I was like, yeah,
That's true.
that's good. Yeah, I don't know. For me, the scene wasn't too much. It didn't bother me.
Well, the guy in space.
That was weird.
Floating
That
there.
was really weird.
That was weird. There's a guy just floating with his legs, and he's got like a full
Huge
erection.
erection.
What is this? What is this show about?
You want to watch
You know what's
it?
funny? As I don't think I've ever seen like like an actual on-screen erection other than like Anchorman, like when he's talking to Christina Applegate.
that's-
Like,
No,
you're
it's
saying
a
like,
different
and I was like,
world.
where does this exist? I don't. This isn't
No,
a thing.
You
man.
haven't heard us talk about this?
No,
It was
like
one of
Game
the-
of Thrones is just flaccid,
No, this
flaccid,
guy is
flaccid.
naked.
I didn't see that. Like, I saw when the guy drops his pants and like his dick's hanging out, but I didn't
There's
see the
that.
erection.
He's
Okay.
a side view of the other
But
guy.
he's not erect.
Granted, when we were watching this, the kids were asleep, but I was standing at the hallway making sure that nobody came out of their room because I didn't want them
Because they would know what's going
gay
on.
sex or straight sex. I don't. My kids are 7 and 4. I'm not ready for that
That
conversation
conversation.
yet.
I jokingly but truthfully said it was the gayest thing I've ever seen on TV.
It
Probably
was.
ever.
It was.
It was odd.
It was one of the more.
If you couldn't handle two guys kissing for like a few minutes on screen, it goes beyond that, dude.
Way beyond that.
Like, does that bother you at all when you watch?
No, I have no qualms with any of this.
Okay, so you're down to see one guy pig another.
Sure, why not?
It's not something I go search for. But if
Do-
I'm
do you
watching a
think-
movie and it's in
or
it, it's not going to
Brockmire
bother
was
me.
pumping up her
Do you think
penis.
that-
Dude, Brockmire ended and it is so good.
Do you think that
That was the baseball announcer.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's such a good show.
that flame coming out of the guy's erection into the other? Like, do you think
So
Oh, is it much?
this like fire genie is having sex with this guy.
it was a djinn? You know, in Uncharted 3, how like the supernatural guys in that movie were djinns and they had like flaming eyes.
Yes.
Basically
like
that, but it was a taxi driver who like
He likes guys.
gets it on with another like Middle Eastern guy. He gets a fare ride home to. Cut to 4-minute long
Sexy time.
intimate sex scene.
Yeah.
But where the last of it becomes kind of supernatural, where you see them like in the middle of an oasis or in the middle of a desert, and they're just black silhouettes of themselves doing it, and then you see the Jen's eyes are on fire still, and it's a black silhouette, and his heart's burning, but then you see the flame come basically through the silhouette of his junk into the other guy and out the other guy's mouth,
and like lights him on fire.
And basically, it's like when he's orgasming, and I just. It is.
It sounds really interesting and creative.
Makes guys very uncomfortable.
It didn't make me uncomfortable.
Robert was into
Did you see
it.
Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah.
Did that make you uncomfortable?
No.
No.
You know what I always said was funny about that? Because a lot of people will watch it. I didn't think it was a good movie.
More T than
It was
D.
okay.
But yeah, there's more boobs in that than Wiener. Which I always thought was funny.
I never
because
watched it, so I can't judge.
You see Anne Hathaway and you see
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams topless in it. And I always thought that was funny because dudes are always like, I'm not going to see that.
I don't think there was any penis in that.
All you saw was when they jumped off the mountain to jump in the water, you see like a silhouette of a dong. But other than that, that's all you see. I think it was the part that he was like,
he licks his hand. Yeah.
So I mean, but none of that doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that you're a piece of shit or anything for it bothering you. That's not even.
He's talking to Corey right now.
Yeah.
By the way, not me.
I'm just saying it doesn't bother me.
I watched it.
Yeah.
But it was the gayest thing I've ever watched.
He walked out and asked me when it was over to come back in.
There are many times that like a gay sex scene goes on for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Like,
really, 30-second explanation. What is this show about?
It's not current day, but it's close to it. America, and as people have come over from other countries, they've brought in their gods and their beliefs with them. As the people that believe in them die off, the gods lose their powers.
they really manifest into
real people.
In what people like imagine them, and they kind of have the powers. So anything
It's
that people
interesting.
worship, so as like a TV god kind of technology, because people waste their time on it. Anyway, all the old gods are trying to
Retain what
start
they
a
have.
war against the new god. So it's kind of
It does sound pretty interesting.
The show's about the recruiting process, basically. A main character, a human, gets caught up in the middle.
Very cool.
It's a good. We all read the book and liked it, or Katrina and I liked it. I don't know about Corey.
Yeah, it's okay. Too much gay sex in it.
All right.
The scene was in the book, by the way. We can continue to flip to a chapter right now. You can read it and tell us what you think.
I might give me that book.
What? Not the good one?
Not the good one.
No. I bought her the other one's been read so many times it's starting to fall apart. So I bought her like a hardcover, like engraved, leather
A
bound.
few chapters are really sticky.
Here, just
What?
what's wrong with you?
I'm not the only one who read
I
it.
read both stories. You didn't read that book.
No, not that book. Oh, the one that's been used a
Well,
lot.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
It wasn't sticky when I gave it to you.
It wasn't sticky when I
Just
gave it back, but
from
it's probably sticky
what's
now.
it called?
That's American Gods. That's the one I bought her for her birthday this year.
Nancy Boys.
Nancy Boys. Nancy.
That was
Boys.
okay.
Yeah, this is pretty cool looking. I like the silver.
Yeah, it's a.
It was awesome.
Why do they have Nazi boys in it?
A Nancy Boys.
Yeah,
That's
a couple
Mr.
Nazi
Nancy.
boys.
A-N-A-N-S-I.
Oh, not like
Mr.
Hitler?
Nancy's kids.
Do you think if Hitler had a goatee, people wouldn't have goatees nowadays?
Oh my god.
Probably not.
Do you think he just ruined that mustache? Like, are we glad he didn't
It's
have
a
something?
fair point, I think.
Michael Jordan wears it, and he's worn it for years, and people don't even notice.
It's another fair point.
Does he wear it in his commercials? Because that's the only time I
Yep.
see him.
He has that one. Tell me what you guys think about this, and then we'll finish this episode up. Should I keep saying, and that's this week's episode of 9 to 5 Nerds, or should I come up with like a sign-off tagline?
Well, considering we don't do it like one a week anymore, it seems like.
Oh.
We actually have had one coming out each week. It's just I was backed up on episodes.
We should do that's this period in time's episode.
That's this month, and that's the way.
I would just say
from-
that's episode.
we don't go by episode
You don't,
numbers.
you're not
We
doing
don't go by
numbers. So you're not doing numbers anymore.
We lost count.
Oh, well, you
Even
could
if
just
we don't
count
do a
them.
weekly episode, it would still be this week's.
Yeah, that makes. I think that makes sense.
But I was more like talking
But
about
if
like
we do two in a week,
This iteration
does this
of
week
well, like
still count?
on Tell 'em Steve Dave at the very end, they'd be like a rant or whatever, and then Walt Flanagan would be like, "Tell him, Steve, Dave," and that's the end of the episode. It goes into like music.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
You could do like, don't forget to spay or neuter your pets. You could
Yeah,
do
see, like that.
something like that, or take care of
see on
yourself.
Bob Barker's
Take care of
line?
yourself and others, like Jerry Springer. We could do that.
And, Kevin Smith on Comic Man, he's like, and that's
all, folks.
yeah. So he'll do like
I
a
think you should throw up your hand to say, "That's it. I'm done with this conversation."
Every single time
It's
he's
over.
done.
I like that.
Every single time he's like,
I
I'm
like
done with
that.
this.
That's it. I'm done with this conversation.